Hello Lego lovers, welcome back to Brick Panther. My name is Will, and today I have something very exciting I wanted to show you, and this is basically me starting up my design process. I've already got a couple minifigs that I designed myself and a prototype of a model, and we're about to get into it. Before I show you guys what I designed, allow me to tell you what I was inspired to design. So, I don't know how many of you know this, but one of my favorite movies on Netflix is called Rebel Moon. It's directed by Zack Snyder, and a lot of people hate it. I personally love the film, and it has 2 movies right now. I know the 3rd is coming, but, that's beside the point. But I was inspired by the world of Rebel Moon to design my very own Lego sets for it. And we'll be starting off with the minifigs that I designed, at least for right now. I'll have more designing and at least more minifigs to come. I'm trying to find my words here. But let's get into the minifigs, the meat of why you guys are here. Before we go into each character in depth, I'm going to make a little bit of a display, or not a display, a lineup of all of the characters I've designed, and then we'll go into each one, and I'll talk where I discuss my design process and kind of the parts that I chose for them to kind of make them stand out a little better. Here we go. So we have the full lineup. This is 7 characters total, and we'll start with from left and work our way to right. We have Korra, and I designed her using Hanzo's pants, Cara Dune's torso, a white cape. The headpiece was, I think, one of a stormtrooper, and then Harry's hat. I feel like it resembles the character. I'll actually put, with kind of each character as I show it, a picture of their in-movie character right beside them so you can kind of compare and contrast. But the gun, it's from the Son of the Mandalorian sense, and I feel like it really resembled the weapon she uses in the film. Next up, we have Gunnar. There's not really much to explain. He's kind of like the side character and Korra's love interest in the film. Then we have Tarek with his dual-wielding axes. I used a figure from The Hobbit. The head is a clone trooper, I believe, and then the hairpiece is Thorn Oakenshaft. I forgot to mention, with Gunnar, it's Cole's hair, Poe's head, Harry's jacket, and a Rebel cargo pants. Then we have General Titus, and you can't really see the face all too well. There we go, if we can get in the light. But I used a non-Lego orc torso because I don't actually have one of those torsos, but it's the piece I had that best resembled it. We got some cargo pants, some armor, and that is a stormtrooper head, I believe, for the sequels. And I designed the gun myself. Then we have Nemesis. Now, Nemesis is designed using black pants with a cape. We got the Ravenger, Taserface's torso with gray hands to represent the metal arms that Nemesis has in the movie. We have, and then Jack Sparrow's head hairpiece mold. Now this one is a little harder to recognize, but this is the robot from Rebel Moon. It's either James or Jimmy. I don't know the names that well. At least of this guy. I've seen both. But this was probably like one of the hardest. Wow, there's actually a bit of fuzz on there. There we go. This one was probably the hardest to design because the robot has antlers on the side. And I can't actually do that because there's no modified plate or a piece specialized for that. So I did the best with what I had. I think it looks pretty decent. And then lastly on the lineup, we have one of the villains, Admiral Noble. Really cool figure. I actually designed it using James Gordon's torso from the Batman movie. And some wet coat legs, and I got a dwarf head And I actually designed it to where he can have an alternate hairpiece. So that really works well. I'll kind of put a picture. And again, all these guys will have pictures. But also, I've got some other news. I'm going to take Cora. I did some readjusting to make this a little bit easier. Slide these figures aside. And I actually went ahead and designed a prototype for a Rebel Moon set. So this is the first prototype of the final battle from the first movie. This is where Admiral Noble and Cora face off on a hovering platform where Cora doesn't have any weapons to her name. She is just left with her fist, while Admiral Noble has his Mother World bone, which is, that's what this weapon is. And you guys think, well, that's not a bone. Well, Lego doesn't make a black bone as far as I know. So this was probably the next best thing. And it allows you to recreate, because this piece can detach, and it can recreate one of the most iconic parts, which is Cora breaks the staff in two. And then another iconic moment from the scene, which I absolutely had to include, is, oh gosh, this is basically going to be impossible, almost impossible. Oh. Can we get it? Oh, so close. So close. So close again. This is so hard to do one-handed, guys. There we go. I got it. So this also recreates the iconic scene of where Cora is hanging down below the chain. She's trying to climb back up. And again, this is a prototype. This is not the official model, but this is, I guess, one of the concept models that I came up with. And it's very poor in design, but I kind of got the idea of at least this part, I definitely know looks really good with the lights. And really, as I was looking at the raw footage in the scene, I didn't really have much to go on. So I feel like for what I have, this is a pretty good prototype. There are definitely rooms for improvement. There's things I want to add, and there's a whole like metal section below. I just temporarily did that because I wanted to practice designing the under part to see how I can get this to work. But yeah, that is the prototype of my first Rebel Moon set. And thus concludes this particular video. Let me guys know what you think about my designs, and I will definitely be sharing more updates in the future. Again, like I said, this is a prototype, but all of these figures are, I would say they're pretty much considered finished. So they passed the prototype stage. I feel very accomplished of what I have done here. What an amazing lineup. That is honestly really cool. So, yeah, this is the progress of my Rebel Moon stuff. And I will be designing more Rebel Moon sets in the future. I want to get this one actually developed. And again, to reinstate, I know I said that in previous videos that I would be selling these. These ones are not going to be sold because they are not they're from my personal collection. So these are actually parts that go to sets that I would rather hang on to. So whenever I start my official business, this is kind of me just preparing for the business, you know, getting used to designing sets and my own things. So this is kind of like practice stages, but I still thought I'd share them with all of you. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next Lego video.